Hi everyone, welcome to A Beer with Brad episode 48. 4 years in the books with this episode. It's hard to believe where all that time has gone. Tonight, I'm having a Spotted Cow from New Glarus Brewing Company. And before you get all worked up saying, oh, you're not drinking a local beer this month. No, I'm not. We just got back a few weeks ago from a hockey trip. My son played hockey in Wisconsin. And New Glarus is like the official beer of Wisconsin. They only sell it in Wisconsin. People always seem to be bringing it back with them. This New Glarus Spotted Cow is just a beer-flavored beer. Really good drinking, easy, light beer. A lot of good flavor. It's a local family-owned brewery up there in Wisconsin. So having a Spotted Cow from New Glarus Brewing. So, if you're wondering what's up with my voice, sometime either in Wisconsin or right before I went to Wisconsin, I got the flu. Been better for a couple weeks, but my voice is still shot. And I also, sometimes I'll start coughing a little bit. So if I oddly cut out of the video, I started coughing again. So, like I said, we went to Wisconsin for a hockey trip for my son. Came back to Nebraska, and on 2 days later, on Tuesday, I came down with the flu. So I have no idea where I got it, because everyone at work has gotten it too. Even before I left, people had it. When I came home from Wisconsin, found out that a lot of the hockey team had also got it. So we all have gotten it. We've all had crazy symptoms. I mean, some people would almost think that it was COVID by the way the symptoms are. I mean, the brain fog was unreal. Tiredness, dizziness. It was a crazy flu. I haven't had the flu in years. I get the flu shot every year, but somehow I got it this year, and it's been hard to get over. So this Beer with Brad should have actually come out last Thursday. Those of you who follow along know that it's the first Thursday of every month. And then last week's Wyoming trip, day 4, should have actually been out the week before that. But that was the week I was in bed. I was in no position to like come down here. The video was done. I didn't have the thumbnail made for YouTube, and I didn't have it uploaded, but even the simple task of uploading it to YouTube was too much. So missed that week. Beer with Brad's now delayed a week, but it's all good. No big deal. And actually today's Beer with Brad is part of the day 5 of the Wyoming trip anyway. So kind of came at a perfect time. I'm going to talk about bears today. But first I want to talk about a fundraiser going on. So a lot of people in the Omaha beer community know Aaron Bush. Aaron is the owner and head brewer at B5 Brewing up in Benson. And he is also the original brewer of Infusion Brewing, which was in the same spot in Benson. Aaron was diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. And the beer community is really coming together to raise funds for him and his family. So there's a new beer coming out this Saturday, part of Omaha Beer Week, and it's called Iron Horse. And Iron Horse is going to be brewed by a whole bunch of different breweries. So if you go to the Omaha Craft Brewers Guild, it's on their website, it's on their Facebook, social media. I could probably put a link to it in the bottom of this video too. But if you go to the Omaha Craft Brewer or Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild Facebook page, there's a lot of information on the fundraiser, and then there's also all the breweries that are participating in making the Iron Horse beer. So we got B5, which is Aaron's brewery up in Benson Brewery, Corn Coast, 505 out in Fremont, Jukes out in Elkhorn, Kincaider, which has taproom in Omaha, Lincoln, and the breweries out in Broken Bow, Cross Strain, Monolithic, Pint 9, Scriptown, Site 1, and the Upstream. Cool thing is they're all using different hops, so they're brewing the same beer all with different hops. So there's going to be a lot of cool variations on this beer, and some of them, like Cross Strain, has already said that they will have it in cans. Casual Pint is also going to have at least the Cross Strain one. They're trying to get more. Some of the breweries don't have the ability to can, so those might only be on tap. So you can go to this website, Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild, figure out what brewery you want to go to and try the beer, and portions of the proceeds go back to Aaron and his family. Or you can go up to B5. Aaron's a super cool dude. Like I said, he was at Infusion. In between, he was working part-time at Casual Pint Had a lot of fun up there on Saturday nights when he was working. And then now he's back at B5. And B5 stands for Bush 5, so it's Aaron, his wife, and all his kids all work there. So family business. There's also going to be a fundraiser on February 23rd. The information is also on this same website. It's the International Brother of Electrical Workers Union Hall, 133rd in Stevens, which I believe is by L, but don't quote me on that. Just Google the location. There's going to be all kinds of fundraiser stuff. They're going to have silent auction raffles and whatever. And I've talked to some people, and I'm going to have at least one big picture for a silent auction or raffle, whatever they choose to do with it, or two medium-sized ones. Kind of on the fence about that. I haven't decided. That's as soon as I get this video done in the next day or two. I need to get whatever print or prints I'm going to send to that. I need to get those ordered, and so they will be ready in time, because the 23rd of February will be here before you know it. So tonight I'm going to talk about a grizzly bear that we photographed on day 5 of the Colorado and Wyoming trip. So if you've been following along, the first 4 videos, day 1 through day 4, have already come out. Started in Colorado, worked our way up into Wyoming. The video number 4, we did find a big male grizzly bear up in the snow by the Continental Divide. Day 5, we went back down in the valley, down in the Pilgrim Creek area. Sorry about that. The morning we started down on the river in the Teton Range, kind of by the Schwabacker's Landing. And for whatever reason, I didn't really record any video that morning. And then we went on to the Pilgrim Creek area looking for grizzlies. That's one of the more popular spots to find grizzly bears in Grand Teton National Park. And so we get there, and there was a huge crowd. So we parked our cars, we got out, got our camera gear, and we walked a little bit further down the road. We were parked pretty far down, and found that we came across this grizzly bear here. This grizzly bear is officially known as grizzly bear 793, but its unofficial name that everyone calls it is Blondie. Blondie is probably one of the, whatever you want to call it, second or third most popular bears in the park up there. The most famous was 399. 399 was really old and got hit by a car last year, so she's no longer around. Her daughter 610 and then Blondie are probably the 2 other famous ones that are still there. So in 2022, this video and these pictures, I don't know if you've picked up on that, but it's 2025. I'm finally putting together videos from 2023. So back, these pictures in 2023. In 2022, Blondie had 3 cubs, and they were killed by a male grizzly bear, and she disappeared. So no one saw her from whenever, I don't remember what time it was. Her cubs were killed. She disappeared and never came around. And then on 2023, when we were there, she never came around all year, and people were starting to wonder, like, what happened to her? Did she run away? Did she pass away? And then when day 4 in the video, people found she came out of the forest with 2 new cubs. And so we did not see her on day 4, but we came along on day 5, and we were able to photograph Blondie with 2 of her cubs. So this first picture here is kind of one of the first. These are in chronological order from the time I shot them. So found Blondie. We found the crowd, and then we got out and kind of asked what was going on, and then she came out of the trees and got a first photo of her. And then here's a second photo with her and one of her cubs. One of her cubs is darker, more of a normal grizzly bear color, and then her other cub, the one you see here, is really light, like the one that should have the name Blondie is almost this little cub because it is so bright. So we watched these bears in this field for hours. I mean, I'm talking the entire day. Day 5, pretty much the entire day. From about mid-morning until almost sunset, we watched these bears. We took off for a little bit just to get a little break, eat some lunch. We went to kind of more of a picnic area type area to eat. And kind of regrouped for a minute and then went back. But this is still before that. He got Blondie kind of digging around in the ground. She was actually teaching them how to dig. So she'd start digging. The cubs would come over and they would dig for what they were eating. But this one here, Mama Bear has her nose in the ground, and the two cubs are checking out the crowd, because there are, by this point, probably several hundred people all along the road. Park rangers directing traffic, park rangers keeping people back. They have the side roads closed off, really trying to protect the bears. There's park rangers come to these bear jams, and their main job is to protect the bears and to keep the people from doing stupid things, because we all know there's plenty of stupid people that do lots of stupid things, like approach a mama grizzly bear with two cubs. Here's another one. The mom and one of the cubs are looking, actually all three are, but the third one's blocked, kind of over towards the forest. Here's another one with the mom and one of the cubs in front of some really cool aspen trees. The aspen trees were pretty perfect down in that Pilgrim Creek area. So while there's not a ton of them, it was cool to get a few shots with the fall colors in there. Next picture is the mom is looking at us, and then the two cubs are down digging. And so this is about the time we left. Like I said, we drove down the road for a little bit, kind of regrouped, ate some, I don't know, probably wasn't even lunch at that point. It was probably like a super late afternoon snack. Came back, and the grizzlies were pretty close to the road, and the rangers had actually kind of blocked off an area because they think that the bears were trying to cross the road to get down towards the bigger part of the river. So the next picture here is just one little small group of people. You can see everyone there just piled on top of each other with the big lenses. When I'm out doing wildlife and nature, this is not what I like, but with the bears, it was kind of like, all right, I'll make an exception. It's a cool bear. It's a famous bear. Has two cubs. They're right by the road. They're not scared of people. They're hanging out. The park officials or the rangers, they suspect that a couple of these moms, like 6'10", 399, and Blondie, have all kind of learned that when they're by the road, they feel safer because they know the big male grizzlies aren't going to come out by all the people. And they kind of hang around by the roads because they feel safe there. So, like I said, a whole group of people. I photograph sports, so I mean, there's a lot of sporting events where this is like the side of the baseball field or football field. So, while I don't appreciate it, it didn't bother me any bit. So then here's the bears that are getting closer to the road. They kept getting closer and closer. The little ones were a lot more curious of the people in the cars than the mom. The little ones poked their head up a lot and looked at this. So then here we go. Another group, you can see all the cars, people popping out of sunroofs, people kind of hiding behind the cars. And this is shot, both of these crowd shots are shot with a telephoto lens. So there is some just lens distortion, or not distortion, compression, lens compression, where it is kind of compressing this in to make it look worse than it really is. But there's just so many people with so many big lenses. Here comes Blondie getting closer to the road yet. And one of the famous people that was there was Thomas Mengelson. He's from here in Nebraska. The Mengelsons has their art store right down the road from my house. So I just talked to him for a minute. I've actually met him a few times at his gallery when he had a gallery here. Very nice guy. But yeah, he was sitting there right on the side of the road like everyone else. So he's done that a lot. Here come the bears. They're walking even closer to the road. Mom's in the lead. The cubs are following close behind, just getting ready to cross the road. And then see the mom just walking like no big deal, but the little bears kept stopping and looking at everyone. They were very curious, very inquisitive of what was going on. I actually do wish I had video of all this, but I don't. I mean, I have a couple shaky, far away images, but when it came to them crossing the road, I just focused solely on the photos. You can see the cones are put out by the park rangers. They didn't want parking along there because they wanted a place where the grizzlies felt safe crossing the road. So their park rangers, they're probably right behind that crowd, and then over on our side there were several more. And the bears, once they got across the road, they kind of ran for a little bit, but you see people on top of the campers. I mean, people everywhere. And that might be Tom Mangleson right there. He's kind of wearing a brown coat and a green hat like that. I can't tell if the background's blurred out. But then here's the mom and the two cubs walking towards the river. Once they got out there, they kind of slowed down. They dug around a little bit. I mean, they weren't in a hurry to get to the river, but the creek, Pilgrim Creek, was right by us, but the Snake River's down in those trees. So I don't know if they were going down there just for a different, water source or whatnot. The little one turned around, looked at us again, and then here they are again, still on the west side of the road, just kind of hanging out, digging around, seeing what they find. Overall, it was an awesome experience. Like, I'm totally glad I got to experience that. There's a lot of things I would do over that day. I'm one of those people, like, when I'm in a situation like this, something new, something exciting, I don't think. I just kind of react. And I made a lot of mistakes. I think if you watch enough Beer with Brads over the years, you realize that I do that. I get more focused on the action, what's going on, and like less about the technical stuff. There's a lot of things I would have done different as far as getting video to capture all this day for this video. But in the end, it was just a cool day, a cool thing to see. I'm not sure if any of these are necessarily printable. I mean, there's a couple of these that might be. I also was using a lens that I no longer have, because that was kind of a theme with that lens where it got decent pictures, but I also feel like it let me down too many times. So it was my only lens that was not a Canon lens, and so I got it and replaced it with a Canon lens similar. To get that out one of these days, show you. But some of these where they're crossing the road are probably actually the sharpest of the pictures, and that's just because of how close they were. But some of these, where they're out in front of the trees, they're not nearly sharp enough. I mean, I could probably make a small print, but that's one of the biggest bummers of that, was that those pictures aren't printable, which is too bad. My goal every time I go out to take photos is that the pictures I take are printable. They're not just for social media likes or to put on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I mean, I actually want to be able to print the pictures, because to me, a photo is complete once it's printed. Well, I'm going to have another drink of my Spotted Cow here by the Glarus. Hopefully that's not too loud, because I have the microphone sitting right next to the beer can, so I'm probably set that down hard a couple times. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in again. I'm starting working on day 6 after this. I think there's enough pieces of video to string it together. I don't know why, as this trip went along, I kind of shot a little less and less video, but I think there's enough there to put together. The last day, I got some awesome pictures the last day in the park, and then we went down to some Badlands areas. Probably have some cool stuff there, so hopefully I'll keep this video series rolling right along next week and have one done next Thursday. We'll see how things go, but thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting me these last 4 years. Next video will be year 5. As always, if you ever want to send me any suggestions, my email is brad@bradwilliamsphotography.com, or leave a comment in the bottom of YouTube. And and again, support Aaron and his family. Super cool dude. It's just a very unfortunate situation, being diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. So like you said, his family, they all, wife and kids, all work in the brewery. So anything you can do to support them in their brewery would be great. B5 up in Benson, great little spot. So, but thanks for tuning again. I'm glad my voice almost made it through this whole video. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next month.